Hey, what's up? This is ASAP Tiffy. This is the first video I'm making of myself drawing, so if it sucks, I'm sorry. I'm also sick right now, so I've got some tissue, got a cough drop, might have to get up to get another cough drop. I apologize if I cough and or sneeze or do anything else that's kind of gross. Being sick blows. But I figured since I'm doing nothing, it's a good opportunity to try this. Alright, queuing up my music now. And I don't feel like doing this one. It's gonna be the cover for the second episode. I'm gonna work on this one. So as you can see, I've got already the mannequin. What I did first was the really rough sketch in mannequin, which I just do, you know, a circle and a circle for the ribcage, circle for the pelvis. And then I go over that and do some construction. And now I'm going to lighten that and go over it in more detail. And I know that's like, it creates a lot of layers. I just create layers and delete them because I'm never really sure if I want to keep something until I see the final and I'm like, yeah, I want it. Right now I'm sketching my OC Dawn. And she kind of wears, like a puffer bomber jacket. And let's see, I want it to look like she's being blown into the wall. So let me think about how to draw her jacket. I guess she should be really tight against her back. And then like kind of, well, it's puffy, so I gotta give it a little more. And it's big. So and I want to be able to see his hand kind of choking her. And there it goes, coming forward. And I just like the texture of these little lines, give the cuffs and whatever the color, whatever. Yeah, fix that pinky. This is my drawing process. Silly sound effects, and I really just try to replay each panel in my head. I don't like that. I like that a lot better. And that theoretically is where her knee would be. And her jean, since her leg is coming kind of out, there needs to be a crease between her butt and her thigh. And if you're thinking, that's quite an angular butt, I like angles. She wears cuffed jeans for now. It's only episode 1 or 2, which is like one day. So I might change her outfit, we'll see. This will probably ultimately be covered by his arm. It's pretty likely. So I'm not going to go into too much detail there. I am going to kind of do her pants a little bit. Her pants that she's currently wearing are kind of two-tone, like one. They're different colors. You'll see when I color it, if I do make a video of me coloring. These are the pant stitches right here. And pockets. So there are her pants. Let's see. Since this is coming out, well, I'm gonna do like this. She's got her laces going up. Yeah, she certainly looks like she's being just grabbed the fuck out of. I don't know if I can cuss, but I guess I'll bleep that out later or something. Okay, now for this guy. Behind me, which you can't see, I have my laptop, which has my other pages of Miss Cleaver, the name of the comic. So I can look at them for reference to see how my characters look, like what clothes they're wearing. Like this guy right here, he's not a main character, so I don't really remember super what he looks like. So I need to look at him real quick. Got his face over here. But I don't need his face, I need his body. Like what he's wearing and all that. Okay, let's see. I'm not totally sure how to draw this arm angle. When I'm not totally sure, I look at my own, I don't know if you could see it, but I'm like looking at my own arm and kind of imagining what it would look like from, I think his elbow should be a little bit lower than where I drew it right here. His tricep would be a lot more visible than his bicep. So let's go ahead and start. There's the elbow, barely coming out. Gonna erase this so it's not in the way. And then gonna, his tricep also is going to be contracted. So when your arm is bent in, your tricep is extended. When it's straightened, it's contracted. You see it. I don't know if you can see that popping up, but when your bicep contracts, your tricep extends, and vice versa. So it's going to be pretty thicky boy up here. And it's going to be like that. And your tricep has like That looks stupid. Hold on. Your triceps kind of shaped like a horseshoe. Which I know is not super helpful to explain looking at it right now, but trust me, when you study anatomy, you're going to be like, what the fuck is going on with this shape? It's shaped like a horseshoe, that's why. Okay, let me look at this. Here's his shoulder over here. So this is going into his armpit. I'm a pretty big fan of how I made his shoulder look up here, connecting into his arm. And then his shoulder blade right there. I'll do a light line. And then there we go. There's his bicep. Let's make it a little bit thicker. And then let me look at my arm again. So I think this top part of the forearm is called the brachialis, but don't quote me on that because I literally have no idea. Yeah, I just said literally. That's a TIFF term. Coined, patent. Streets ahead, y'all. This is too chunky coming into this. What I just drew there was the ulna, like where the wrist, your wrist bump. But I don't know if I like it right there. I'm gonna wait to draw that. So there we have his beefy man arm. So what I'm gonna do now is, I know I just drew her clothes on. That's because I just had a really clear idea of her form anatomy-wise. His, I didn't have a clear idea. So that's why I'm drawing his anatomy, and then I'll draw his clothes on top, also because they're ripped. So it's just a little too much for me to think about in my head. So what I do is, when in doubt, take it piece by piece, step by step, as slow as I need to. And here's his pec. And then going into his abs. This would be his lats right here. This is a serratus anterior, I think it's called. It's really super helpful to know anatomy for art. Obviously, a lot of people spend a lot of time working on it, but what's more important than anatomy is your basic forms: cylinders, squares, spheres, cones, all of that. Far more important than anatomy. As long as you have, like, if I were to just throw his clothes on top of those shapes I had, honestly, it probably would have looked fine. But I like 3D construction and I like anatomy a lot, so I just go through the trouble of drawing both because it's enjoyable. Always remember to enjoy art. If you don't have a good relationship with it, you'll burn out. And he's wearing pants, I believe. Is he wearing pants? Or did he? Yeah, he's kind of wearing pants. There's his knee. I don't want it quite that pointy.
And he's raw dogging the floor in this. Just got the dogs out. So good ankle. What's going on with this? Oh, it's because I moved him forward. I'm like, why does he have 2 feet? That's the downside of having multiple layers. If you like adjust one layer outside of the other, like, that's kind of funky. But you just gotta zoom out, look at what you're doing, and then figure it out. No big deal. And there's the ankle. And his foot arch, which I might erase. Let's see. I prefer it without the arch. Maybe like that. No, I don't like it. And the rest of his toes. There we go. This is a game changer. This liquify tool. Just gonna expand his foot a little bit. Actually, I don't like that. But trust me, it's a game changer. That one time I didn't like it just now, but usually I like it. Make it bigger like this. Okay, let's draw her other shoe. Okay. Ooh. How do I want to do this? So the shirt he has on, he kind of tore a lot. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna give him part of a shirt. This is where the cuffs would be. He's got a little bit piece right there. And then he's got a cuff left on. And for this, I'm looking at the reference or my other comic page to figure out what he was wearing because I want the continuity to be there. And then he's got a nipple ring. So when I ink this, because I'm not going to draw it again, I don't feel like it as a sketch. So when I ink it, I'll just be really careful when I lighten everything to look at the clothes and like what's going on there. So he's got, he's stretching pretty far. So I think I gave him boxers. I'll keep him in the boxers. There's the cuff for the boxers. This character is also based on like, one, I just wanted him to be like really big, like a freaking tank. And then for 2, I wanted him to be like a UFC fighter, like. So these are his pants coming off. I don't really like that. So what we'll do here is make this look more like a calf muscle. so he can have that leg on and that pant leg that's ripped off. Let's make it look more ripped off because right now it looks like a weird fashion statement. There we go. Looks more ripped. See how jagged and asymmetrical it looks. Doesn't look so perfect. Sorry, I gotta take a break to blow my nose. Like I said, this is the first drawing video I've ever made, so I guess when I edit it or whatever, I'll see if it's any good. I really like sharp angles. Let's see what he looks like. So, wait a minute. I do that all the time. I look at it and then I like immediately forget whatever I just looked at. So here's his eye. Let's make this a little smaller. And I wanted him to have like a little dainty, cutesy nose, just because I thought it would be a funny little juxtaposition. He's also kind of grinning the whole time just because he's so cocky. There we go. Yeah. That's the look of a evil douchebag. Even though he's got like a little dainty baby nose, I wanted him to have big ears. Typically, for when you draw, your ears and nose are like the same-ish size. And he's got jewelry. I'll make it look better when I ink it. But I forgot what I was saying. Oh, but for this guy, I mean, it's more tied to the length. So as you can see, the ear length matches the nose length. So it just made his ears kind of fatty and his nose kind of bony. Let me see what his hair looks like. I know he's a mohawk. So we'll go back like this. And I'll give him a shaved head, which for shaved heads, I usually just do like kind of some lines like that. And then for his mohawk, just coming straight up. And then I want this one to be kind of little down here. Let's see, I want it to kind of follow. Ooh, that was hideous. This kind of size. Okay, so now I'm gonna slightly erase this line. Just use it as a guideline for the other ridges in his mohawk. There we go. Perfect. And the jewelry, the mohawk, his boxers, which I've decided to make purple and gold. I think I'll speak to him being kind of a flashy show-off guy. Yeah, let's give him a cheekbone. Oh, and I almost forgot his eye ornamentations. There we go. Typically, the simpler you make characters, the easier it is to redraw them. I have a nasty habit of putting too much detail into people. It makes it really complicated to draw. I'm gonna draw some fingers coming from the other side to show that she's, and I'll just give her other arm like that. Actually, you wouldn't see her cuffs, really. It would just be the tip like that. So we'll do that. Which, like, it's kind of a unnecessary detail. Like in this scene, you're barely gonna see that. But like I said, art is about enjoying the process. That's what makes me want to add all these little details. It's because it's fun. Speaking of making art fun, it's also good to have an environment that's comfortable to draw in. I typically either draw in bed, because that's like the ultimate comfort spot, or I have this little table, which I also use to practice tattooing. Got my headphones on, I'm listening to music. So if my talking is a little discombobulated, it's because I literally am not listening to myself at all. I'm listening to music. So his thumb, he's choking her, so his hand would be like this. You wouldn't really be able to see his thumb. Maybe the ridge of it, but certainly not most of it. Sorry if you can hear me crunching. I just finished my cough drop. Kind of wish she was a little bit closer. But he's a big guy, so we'll just give him ham hands. Some big, beefy hands. This finger 1, finger 2, 3. Theoretically, this is where his thumb would be. So we'll do like this. And zoomed in like this, which is why a lot of people don't recommend you zoom in super fast. Kind of just looks like a mess. And I don't really like it, actually. It needs to be more flared out. So theoretically, his pinky's down here. Unnamed finger, I guess, ring finger, middle finger, index. And I think this, making his hands really big, even though it's clearly something I did just because I didn't make him close enough to her before I drew everything, it also kind of just strengthens how big he is compared to her, which I wanted from the beginning to be like really emphasized, that he's like twice, if not 3 times her size. Okay, now to draw Dawn. Start at the eye. I'm always like, where to start? Start with what you know. So here's her eye. And she's being choked out, so her eyes are probably going to be kind of squinted. Oops, I zoomed out too far. her nose doesn't come too far off her face, but it is wide. But that's not something you'd see from this angle. She would be probably like clenching her teeth. She's got big lips. Let's give her some lips. And her ear would be back here. See, it always looks like a jumbled up mess, and then when you zoom out, it kind of looks less like a jumbled up mess. And that's what I love about art. Let's finish her lip. Like I said, she's got really big lips. So. And then I am going to put her hair on a different layer just because I'm not super confident when I draw hair. And his, so it's just kind of sitting on top of his head since it's a mohawk, so it's no big deal if I erase it. But if I were to erase her hair, like it would be in her face. So here's her hairline, which is always helpful for me to draw. Her hair's parted like on the side, kind of. And because she's being kind of yanked, thrown, whatever, grabbed with a lot of force. Her hair is going to be kind of going this way. So I don't want to be too zoomed in because I need to see where the force is coming from. That's too long. I apologize. Like I said, I'm under the weather. On her, she just has earrings, but we'll make it so that they're, this is kind of where her hair, certainly looks like she's being yanked, I think. We'll merge it down. Now something I don't know how to draw, I've never drawn, it's this kind of, I don't even know what to call them, like the force. Make another layer. Just gonna go with a bunch of lines for now. I definitely want some coming off of this leg of his. Make this a little bit bigger. And again, when in doubt, I look at references. let's go. The hell? Oh shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm definitely gonna edit this part out. How did I get to freaking... There we go. My albums. There we go. That's what I wanted. I really like Haikyuu. I've actually never read the manga. I watched the TV show, but I really, really liked the way they... This is what I was looking for. I love how this looks right here. This is what I want his legs to look. Or that leg. This is coming forward. So I'll go through. And then and we'll do some more coming off of his hand here. And then I want a lot of energy, so I'm gonna go quick on these lines. And if they're not right, just undo them. Was this new? I erased that. And then I'm gonna go back and try to redo these lines. Even though I'm gonna ink them, like however I ink them, I just want, I don't know if I like that. Let me see. I love how this looks here. Oh my god, go back. Let's see another one. Like this. It's like, I don't even know how to describe that, but I freaking love it. Like they're just surrounded by energy. And I do want this to come. Let's see. This side's just gonna be a little more tricky. I think that's coming along really well. Yeah. I'm liking it. We'll go. Like this. Like they're just in a womb of energy. Let's go some more. Oh, I love it. All right, there's the sketch. And like for my sketches, as you can see, I leave them pretty sketchy. Like I don't, when I ink, you know, it's like taking everything that's there and then making a lot of decisions about what I want to stay. Let's see what I have here. Ooh. Okay.